and tell you what just happened in a moment.
Honor thy mother and thy father, that thy days be long upon this earth. Love thy sister and thy brother as thyself. Honor thy mother and thy father, that thy days be long upon this earth. Love thy sister and thy brother as thyself. Honor thy mother and thy father, that thy days be long upon this earth. Love thy sister and thy brother as thyself.
So sorry about that. God and Goddess, thank you so much for this day and for this glorious technology that we can use to connect with people all over the world, especially to share the truth of our reality and your sacred scriptures. Please help us to remember why we came and to ascend the golden ladder. Help us to be loving and kind and plant seeds of truth with compassion and care in our hearts. In the name of Elohim, I pray. Amen. Today on the Nasarean calendar is a family day, and the midtime of peace contemplation is our God and Goddess, immanent and transcendent. Send to all your angel of peace. To my family and friends, send your angel of love. It's a great day for sending love to our family and friends. I actually was just talking for at least 5 minutes without the thing being live. So I apologize about that. I must have hit the end stream button, and I'm just standing here in this parking lot, preaching to you, probably people driving by thinking that I'm crazy, but who cares? Cool. So I wanted to just talk about the family day, and we read in the good book here, the Holy Megillah, the Nasarean Bible of the Essene Way, translated by Day of Greenleaf and available at essene.org. If you order stuff, I am getting to do the shipping now, so I'm super excited about that. I'll be able to ship off your Megillahs. But also remember that the edition with all of the final chapters is going to be coming out within the next year, so you may want to hold off on purchasing that. But there's a lot of other great resources available in the meantime as well. So anyways, as we read in the Holy Megillah, the Nasarean Bible of the Essene Way, in the Nasarean book of Genesis, this is where Abdiel is actually receiving the Bahir Shabbatayim. The lamb and the dove are literally, opening him up with the words of opening and telling him how the Nasarean religion and the kibbutz, all of these things would actually function. So it's a lot of great material in here. But in the Nasarean book of Genesis, again, chapter 16, in verse 140 or 139, it says that the name of the third day will be Family Day. It says, "Lo, how can we hope for peace between nations if we have not peace within our own family? Yea, work for peace in the world, but do not neglect peace within the family. And your family is not only those related by blood, but all the groups to which you belong and all the people with whom you live and work." Even coming out here to the coffee shop on a daily basis, I'm interacting with the ladies and gentlemen that work here. So they are included in this as well, right? It's the people that you are living with, that are working with, the people that you're by all the time. It's really important, obviously, that we have good relationships with these people because, well, how can we hope for peace in the world when we don't have peace with a family, right? All these different things are really important. It starts with us, right? It starts with the body, the mind, and then it works out to family and to humanity, to heritage, all of these different ways that we can bring peace into the world. We always invoke the angel of peace first, and then we say, who we're talking about and the other angel as well. But it's always constantly this peace message that we're trying to promote. And I love how, Rafa, if you remember, which is also in the book of Genesis, where the holy call has been put out and people are coming from all over to ascend the mountain of peace. Rafa is stopped by these evildoers, and anyways, it's not even about the story, but she realized, that preaching peace was part of preaching healing. Like, we can't just go around as healers, and okay, we can, but if we go around as healers, just, here's your herbs, here's, a healing session, here's this, but we're not actually promoting that peace. We're just putting band-aids on the problem. We're not actually addressing the underlying issue, which is this dis-peace, this disconnect that we are having with one another. Realistically, everyone in the ovum, all these souls under the dome, are our family, whether we like it or not, whether they are human, whether they are animal. All of us souls, we are of the same family, no matter how high vibe or low vibe, these beings are. And it's great that we start seeing it from that perspective, so that we can treat them from that perspective. Before I jump off of here, because I have a lot of work to do today, I wanted to read just a handful of quotes about family that I thought were kind of cool. These are just from random people that, one of them is going to be from Mother Teresa. I don't support or promote or any of the individuals saying these things. I like what their quote is, and so that's what the take-home message is. Not focused on the messenger, but the message. This quote is from William Soroyan that says, "I decided very early to love my family and to see in each of its members something rare and good, as well as the miserable and painful things that were obvious. I do not think that in writing of them I ever lied. I merely chose to notice in them the things I cherished and preferred, and to refer to the things I didn't cherish with humor and charity." I love that, seeing our family as human. One of the other verses in the good book here says that essentially, this is a paraphrase, that if you require a sinless brother, you're going to remain brotherless. If you require that your sister is sinless, you're not going to have a sister. Like, we all have our faults, we all have our shortcomings, our strengths and weaknesses. And I love how this, says they try to see something rare and good in all of their family members, but they also see the bad. And with the bad, they use humor and charity to kind of address that, which is really good. Like, that's how we should be, especially those of us that are awakened and on this path of peace. We're further down the path than them, so we kind of, in some ways, have to compensate for them in their shortcomings as well, but in a loving and compassionate way that isn't talking down to them. It's not making them feel like they're being attacked, because in that mentality, in that mindset, you're not going to be able to break through to them. If they think that they are being attacked, if their defenses are going to go up and they're going to be out. And that's with the truth as well. It's with any topics that we try to, even when there's conflict, right? We should always try to come at it with this, like, understanding that if you actually want good results, it depends on your results, right? If you want to go in and just create a whirlwind of trouble that is going to just cause a lot of problems, you're not going to be conscious of what you're saying. You don't care about how you deliver it, right? You're just going to be like, you did this, and you're going to be pointing fingers and all this stuff, rather than if you are, in some higher mental capacities, you're going to be like, okay, this is how I'm feeling, and I need to figure out how to tell this person how I feel in a way that is not going to make them feel attacked, or that I'm their enemy. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, we're not enemies, we're on the same team. There's just some problems, and anytime that you have more than one person, even with one person, right, we all have our own problems, and we're all struggling with the demons that whisper in our ears and try to get us to do whatever is our own weakest link, right? Our own weak temptations. That's where they always try to come at us, every individual person. Then when you add multiple people into the mix, then there's gonna be some conflict, right? There's gonna be some waves. It's not gonna always be smooth sailing. So that's where these peace contemplations come in as well. And whether or not you're in conflicts right now, even setting aside time on a weekly basis just to pray for these situations, or to think about how better you can improve them. Maybe they're already good, but how could they be better? Can you make them better in some way? Can you make the people around you feel more loved and connected and together. A few more quotes before I jump off of here. I actually left my stuff set up in the cafe, so I want to go and get back to it. But Lao Tzu says, in dwelling, live close to the ground. In thinking, keep to the simple. In conflict, be fair and generous. In governing, don't try to control. In work, do what you enjoy. In family life, be completely present. I think a lot of those can actually relate back to the family. They kind of separate it, but even with thinking, keeping it simple, with conflict, being fair and generous, these principles apply to the family as well, in their own different ways. And the last one I'm going to share here is from Mother Teresa. The problem with the world is that we draw the circle of our family too small. I love that. I actually think there was another one that I wanted to read, but I love that. Oh, here we go. This will be the last one. When you plant lettuce, if it does not grow well, you don't blame the lettuce. You look for reasons it is not doing well. It may need fertilizer or more water or less sun. You never blame the lettuce. Yet if we have problems with our friends or family, we blame the other person. But if we know how to take care of them, they will grow well like the lettuce. Blaming has no positive effect at all, nor does trying to persuade using reason and argument. That is my experience. No blame, no reasoning, no argument, just understanding. If you understand and you show that you understand, you can love, and the situation will change. I love that. Cool. I'm going to check the live chat really quick here. Hello, David D. How's it going? David says that you are helping ship out Megillahs while also helping Dave finish the final version for publication. Yeah, I am. Actually, I have a whole list of papers here that I'm going to be working on today that have different errors in here that have been sent over time. I get to go through and organize and then help to fix it, which is right up my alley. Any type of secretarial work type thing I'm like super excited about. Getting to learn how to do the shipping and stuff. I'm like, woohoo, this is so exciting. So yeah. Dude, he says healing hunters to go back to killing is not good. Exactly. And even the doctors, when they heal people of cancer, it's like it's expected that that's going to come back. It's usually not if, but when, right? Because they're not actually healing you. Same thing with these people. If a hunter gets sick, like Dave D says, they're not actually being healed. They're going to go back into the world and cause violence and disharmony all around them, which is going to get them to be sick again, which realistically, they were never healed in the first place because of the fact that they went back out into the field and started hunting again, right? Or the woods, whatever you want to say. David D says, your Nasarean approach is such an impressive personal development from your angry, militant vegan beginning. I definitely agree with that. And yeah, I'm happy to be one of the evidences of the changes of the Holy Megillah. I'm far from perfect, and I know that. But I am really wanting to be the best representative of Lord and Lady Christ that I can be, the best version of myself. And yeah, I came into this from a truther perspective. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's been an interesting journey, my religious truth awakening, right? None of us are fully awakened yet. My awakening started in 2015. That started with not just the spiritual stuff, but flat earth and the ones that are running our world not being what they portray themselves as, so to speak. A lot of different, when I started my awakening, it was just opening the door and it was like, wow, like all these different things. At that time, I started, really questioning my religion and the teachings of Christ and how Christ would have been a follower of the Torah. And that's, what led me down the Torah path, led me to the Essene path, becoming vegan, and then led me to here, the Nasarean Bible of the Essene Way. this book definitely does contain the highest spiritual teachings that are available to mankind. It shows exactly where animal sacrifice and human sacrifice came from, right? They started with animal sacrifice, and one thing led to another, and it literally shows us how these nefarious ones went into different religions that were getting established and killed the priests, put in their own priests, and then would rewrite the religion to incorporate animal and human sacrifice in it. By doing that, by making that the central focus, they were easily able to control and manipulate humanity. Especially once you start eating the flesh of innocents, once you start killing and doing evil, you're opening up these doors for low vibe demons to come in and mess with you. Karmically speaking, you're hey sickness, hey disease, hey misery, hey suffering, hey depression, hey fear, right? Even if you're a hunter and you're not doing the CAFO situation where all the animals are like, enslaved and stuff, you're still opening the door for that fear mentality, for you being hunted down. And let me tell you, that is exactly what the powers that be have planned for us. It's what the good book says that the artificials do once me and you won't take their stupid upgrades, right? They're gonna play it in a lot of different ways and make it look appealing, give us the carrot. They should say give you the cake and the stick, because who's really that appeased by carrots? I know it's not for humans, but just kidding. Anyways, they're gonna give you the cake, the free donut, right? And the termination notice for your job. So either way, it's gonna be interesting. But karma is real, and those that hunt will be hunted. Even those that don't hunt, unfortunately, because of this, like, humanity as a group, we've kind of the majority of us is consenting to this evil timeline. So all of us get to be pulled along with that, while the few of us that are saying, hey, we don't want that future, we don't agree with any beings, whether they're human or animal, any souls being enslaved light either, right? We don't agree with enslavement, period. So the enslavement timeline, we're against. But the thing is that we're the minority. So waking humans up and getting more to realize how powerful we actually are, right? We are actually consenting to their new world order just by going along with the enslavement of animals. Look at how animals are treated, right? That's just one of the very ways that we are going along with it. Unfortunately, the technocratic push, and yeah, anytime that we're playing with the world systems, voting for their presidents, going along either side. None of the presidents on either side are our friends. They have never been for the people. It is a sick bird that is moving towards the new world order, that is, right and left wing are flapping against each other. And, we don't see how they're actually in sync. We just see this push and pull against, like, oh, back and forth squabbling. But in the actual scheme of it, the bird is just a perfectly flying, well-oiled machine that's going towards our new world order. So anyways, I did not mean to get off on that, but David, he says that you should do a flat earth video to help wake more humans up. I actually am planning on doing that, because I've had some flat earth conversations recently, and yeah, so I will do that soon. Hey Ronald, how's it going? Ronald said eating dead cooked animals is bad. Yes, and eating dead raw animals is bad, and also eating alive cooked animals is bad, and also eating alive uncooked animals is bad. All of the bases are covered. Any way you put it, eating animals is bad. David says those who don't take the future mandate Neuralink are their enemies. Exactly. We're the ones that are going to be the illegal immigrants, and the ones that are, shipped off to their essentially concentration camps. That's what it's going to be. Their FEMA camps. Their what do they used to call them? Their reprogramming, or I don't remember what they called them. Like when back in the day. Anyways. Activity says that they will make it impossible to work, buy, or sell unless we take the chip/mark of the beast. Exactly. That's what they have planned for us. So, hey, Kyle, how's it going? Kyle says technical difficulties earlier. I don't actually know what happened. I was sitting here like just chatting away for like 5 minutes, and then I looked at the bottom of my screen and I saw that it said start stream. And then I looked at my phone and I got a text message that was asking if I was having some issues. And then I realized that I was not streaming. So yeah, I was just sitting here in the parking lot talking to nobody. So anyways, I'm going to jump off of here because, like I said, I have this list here, a bunch of pages of, well, it's not this many errors. There's like one error on an email that's blown up really large font. And anyways, I'm organizing this list of errors that's like spelling errors and like apostrophes and commas and stuff. And I'm super excited. I'm going to be getting to that now, but I hope that you have a great day. I hope that you can take some time to send your family some love and maybe figure out or think of some different ways that you can be more loving and peaceful in your family and friend situation, the people that you work with, being that light. And yeah, when we can go above and beyond and like we're shining brighter, they're going to be more intrigued and wondering why. They're going to be drawn in more. And that's when, through love, we can plant more effective seeds and actually bring about the change. So I hope that you have, before I don't know if I can actually show you my blue rose leggings that are so cool. I've got on the Amazon. I've like try to find all of the blue rose clothing articles that I've either already purchased them or getting ready to, all of that. So love it. I love how the blue rose is the order of Joshua and Miriam, and how before I even knew about it, I got a tattoo of a blue rose on my foot. So it's just like really cool ways that we can look back on our lives, and there's like these divine connections that like we're not conscious necessarily of what's going on, but there's things that are happening, I was going to say under the surface, but really above the surface, outside of our realm of knowledge, that are helping us, kind of that are guiding us along our path. So love it. Hey Dave, how's it going? Dave said blue rose leggings. Cool. Yeah, I love them. I gotta wear them to church when it starts to warm up. So yeah, super excited. I'm not sure how everyone in church feels about me with my blue rose gear, because I'm kind of, I don't know. I don't know what they think. It's so anyways, I will catch up with you tomorrow, perhaps for the next reading in the chapter. I have that project as well that I'm working on, the slides and stuff. So maybe I will prioritize getting that ready for tomorrow so that we can read it at noon. All right. I hope that you have a wonderful day. May God and the goddess bless you.